PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 is a shoe I almost gave up on. After putting roughly 50 miles into the shoe, I wasn't feeling its magic, if it had any at all. But then, I went for a hot run, on a hot path, on a hot day. What's up guys, my name's Chris. I'm a YouTuber who likes to talk about running and running shoes. And today, we're here to talk about the PUMA Deviate Nitro 2. The PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 is a shoe I first tried on in Boston at the PUMA Shakeout Run. They had this shoe as a shoe you could try on and demo for, I think it was about 3 miles, and they would donate money to a charity based on how many miles you actually ran. This is also the shoe that I demoed when I got to meet Kafuzi, which is pretty cool. I remember on the run, I found it to be a pretty fun shoe, pretty responsive, and I remember telling the Puma rep, it feels like a shoe that I could probably run a half marathon in, but I didn't think it had what it took to go 26.2 miles. The Deviate Nitro 2 has Puma's premium racing foam, and you'll see that in the pink and gold section here of the shoe. Underneath that, you've got a carbon plate, and then below that you have their standard nitro foam. The premium racing foam is a pretty squishy, fluffy foam that you would expect to have in a super shoe on race day. And then your regular Puma nitro foam is more of the daily trainer kind of foam that you would have when you're putting in the easy miles during your long week. I would say that the foams together create a squishy and comfortable ride. It doesn't really snap back like you might expect with a shoe that has a carbon fiber plate in the middle, but it does have a pretty comfortable run. The Deviate Nitro 2 has an upper that's made of mesh material. It also has this Puma tape located on the front, and I think it's a little bit on the side. It's supposed to create more stability and more comfort and create more of a wrapping sensation when you've got your foot inside. The heel cup itself is pretty stern, pretty hard, but it doesn't really hurt the Achilles area, and again, very comfortable upper. I will say this was a much brighter yellow when I started running in this shoe, and now you can kind of see what looked like, dare I say, Puma claw prints along the top there. Kind of a cool look, but I do miss how flashy the shoe looked just 70 miles ago. On the bottom, we have the Puma Grip outsole. Some of these little pieces right here almost feel like studs that you would see on a trail shoe. I took this out on a endurance race over the weekend. It was kind of like a trail terrain. It went from asphalt to crushed gravel to mud, back to asphalt. And it was a relay where we went out for 1.9 miles at about a 7 to 8 minute pace, depending on how we were feeling when it was our time to go. And I will say that this shoe held up very well, considering it's a road shoe. I do think that the Puma Grip on the bottom and those studs that I talked about earlier, I think they actually helped, especially on the areas that were kind of muddy or that had like roots and branches kind of laying out. I felt like I had a lot of grip compared to some of the other guys out there that were wearing some of their faster shoes. Some people were wearing super shoes out there that you might wear for a marathon on these trails. And I felt like the Deviate Nitro 2 held up a little better than those. As you can see, I've taken this thing out for about 72 miles, and there is some wear on the bottom. At first I thought these little pieces were grass, but it's actually like an outer layer of the foam that's peeling off now. The Puma Deviate Nitro 2 comes in at 9.2 ounces in a men's size 9. It has a heel stack of 37 millimeters with a forefoot stack of 31, leaving it with a 6 millimeter drop. So what's it like to run the Puma Deviate Nitro 2? I will say I was really excited to get my hands on this shoe, mostly because I really enjoyed it during the shakeout run in Boston. Obviously, I had warm, fluffy feelings towards the shoe since I did try it in Boston. I specifically made sure that I got it in the colorway, too, that I also had in Boston. I've mostly been taking this shoe out for some of my easy miles during the week. Right now, I am ramping up towards the Chicago Marathon, so a lot of my easy miles have been in this daily trainer as of late. And I would qualify this as a super daily trainer, mostly because it does have the carbon fiber plate in it. It does have the Premier Racing foam on top. It is a lightweight shoe. It does feel really nice on your foot. It's a comfortable shoe to wear for sure. When I was about 40 miles into this shoe, I was just starting to become a little disappointed in the way it felt. Like I said, I'd been taking it out for my easy runs, which usually have me anywhere from like a 9:30 to 10-15 minute pace. And I felt like the shoe was kind of uncomfortable, or it just didn't have the like squishiness and the like pampering feel that you would kind of want in a daily trainer, something that you're really just logging the long, easy, mindless miles in. I felt like I could feel the ground under me a little bit more than I wanted to during those easy miles, and that was pretty tough considering I was so looking forward to loving this shoe. However, on a hot day, I want to say it was probably in the 90s with a heat index of like the upper 90s. I went out. I was feeling like, you know what, I kind of want to get this workout over with. I don't want to be out here forever. I've been out here for a mile and I'm already sweating. So I decided to kick up the pace a little bit, and I started running like a 9-minute to like 8:30-minute mile during my easy run. And that's when I feel like I unlocked this shoe. This shoe feels so much better at a bit of a quicker pace, maybe even like marathon effort for me. My marathon effort's anywhere from like 8:45 up to 8 minutes, I think. That's when I felt like the shoe really came alive. That's when it felt even lighter. It felt faster. I feel like when I took it up to those speeds, that's when I felt the efficiency taking over in my legs. I can feel the snappiness of the plate. I think it's because I obviously wasn't relying on that regular nitro foam in the heel of my foot because I was on my toes a little bit more, and I was feeling more of the racing foam and the carbon plate popping me up, pushing me forward, and it was an exciting feeling that I was kind of thinking I was never going to get from this shoe. To me, this is a shoe that I would wear on like a progression run if I was going out and maybe doing like 4 easy miles and then like starting with the marathon effort and maybe going up to like a tempo run or a threshold effort and then finishing out with a cool down. I feel like this is the kind of shoe that is good for that effort. For me, it's not a great shoe for long, easy mile efforts. It just doesn't have the squishiness and the comfort that I really look for in those long, easy, like listen to a podcast and enjoy the surrounding kind of run. Typically on a long run, a shoe that I was always really looking forward to in the daily training shoe arena would be the New Balance Super Comp Trainer version 1. Obviously there's a new version out right now. I haven't tried it out yet, but this is the kind of shoe that I could see myself constantly reaching for those long and easy runs because of that foam, because it's so marshmallowy and squishy, and it just feels great throughout your legs. It always feels really good throughout the legs too, and this is the kind of shoe that I would want to wear on those long runs, and that's something that I did not feel like the PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 was giving me. Another shoe that I felt like could give me what I was looking for on those easy long runs would be the Asics Super Blast. This is a shoe that I racked up almost 400 miles in. I think I'm at like 398, and I could wear this shoe for everything. The long run, speed workouts, tempo runs, marathon, half marathon effort. I could probably run like in a 5K effort in the shoe if I wanted to. I just found this shoe to be like a workhorse. It would do anything for me, and I would still probably recommend this over the PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 as a daily trainer. This is a great shoe if you're looking at doing anything I think that's above the easy effort workout. So, like I said, 5K, 10K, half marathon races, I think you could race in this shoe. I don't know that you'd want to do a marathon in this shoe. I don't think that it's going to protect your legs for that long. I think it's also a great workout day shoe for like tempo runs. The PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 comes in at $160 on runningwarehouse.com. It does come in 4 different colorways, actually 5 last I checked. and you can still get it in my favorite, which was the Sunset Glow Sun Black colorway. I have to say too, something I really loved about the shoe is that it's a fun looking shoe. I always found myself pretty excited to put this on and head outside. Looks great over like the black asphalt. And I felt too like when I first got it out of the box, those first couple of runs, this thing was practically glowing. It's something that I thought looked pretty cool. Overall, guys, I loved the PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 for most of my runs. I'm really glad that I picked it up. Has a special place in my heart because of Boston, but I was kind of hoping that it would be more of that super daily trainer that I thought it would be, and actually I don't think it's for everything, so I don't know that I would call it a daily trainer. I think that I would say it's more for specific workouts. Anyway, guys, that is my review of the PUMA Deviate Nitro 2 after about 72 miles. Again, I would recommend the shoe to anybody that is a shoe enthusiast and that's also looking for a fun shoe for specific workouts. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you liked this video, and keep your eye open for the next shoe review. See you on the flip side.